cloudy and 50. In Greenville, it's cloudy and 52. In Johnson City, it's cloudy and 49.
iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Need a break from the world? Open the iHeartRadio app. Pick a song, a playlist, an artist, or even a podcast. And immerse yourself in your own personal getaway space. Sometimes you just need to tune out the world. So tune in to iHeartRadio. So much more than just the best radio stations from all over the country. Download or open the free iHeartRadio app today.
All right, everybody, I am Marky Billson, coming to you here on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. Intrigued to know what your thoughts may be on the Sumlin interview. You can ring me up at 423-743-6124. Do you think he's going to do it? Or will he choke, as so many before him have at ETSU? How's that for setting up drama, huh? Anyway, of course, Sanders coming, and the two bombshells that he dropped, by the way, are that the quarterback position is open despite the talents of Austin Herrick the last few years. It's been something of a bright spot. I will say that sometimes I did feel there was something missing. He had times, for these game-winning drives at the end. Let's say, the Citadel, it seemed to be that way. Certainly Chattanooga, when the Bucs didn't score a touchdown in the entire game or what have you, where they had chances to pull games out last year, and he didn't. And the Bucs regressed from 5-6 to 4-7. Despite the fact of what we would hear on the game broadcast about, they're improved by whoever was in the studio, that sort of thing. But regardless, that's the ETSU culture, which is things maybe where, okay, the football team has only won 7 or more games 3 times in 36 seasons dating back to 1971. But you know what? Everything is sensational. Which is the way they look at things. If not euphoric. And if you say they're not, woe be to you half the time. By the way, just to recap from the last point, I wanted to say, Butch Jones, it appears that he is out as a potential candidate at Arizona. And I mentioned that, and in our very short segment, mentioned, therefore, that you had a circumstance where he likely will be a volunteer assistant. No, not at Tennessee, but at Knox Catholic. And, the big news coming out of Knoxville. See, to me, this is very intriguing because I can remember, I don't think I ever got into any of the games, but at University High, which is a 1A school and has always been a 1A school since anybody can remember. Small school, our rival used to be Knox Catholic. I remember 2 years I played baseball varsity, and this is back in the 80s and all that. Played Knox Catholic 6 times, 1A competition, lost all 6 games. I lost close, 1-run games, extra innings, that sort of thing. But we lost. And this despite the presence, we had a ball player by the name of Chris Lowe, who, I was his backup, okay? Chris Lowe had something like 538 and a home run every other day and ran like lightning, was never caught stealing. And he was drafted by the Phillies, and he's the only baseball player from University High ever to play professional baseball. Didn't make it too far. He did play in Martinsville for the Martinsville Phillies. I think he made it to the New York Penn League, but his stats weren't all that good. And, just probably would have been better off playing college ball and all that. It's a big step from 1A high school baseball, let's face it, to, guys from all over a professional curveball, that sort of thing. It's a big difference. Anyway, so Butch Jones looks like he'll be coaching his son Adam down in, because Arizona is no longer that interested in him. Oregon State also supposedly reached out to Jones, but the front runners for that Arizona job to replace Rich Rodriguez, who, of course, I guess did he resign or was he fired? He was no longer the coach because of sexual harassment claims. The one that really I looked at and was when he had a woman supposedly stand between his wife and mistress on the sidelines, making sure they wouldn't get together. That to me, my goodness, Anyway, defensive coordinator Marcel Yates, he's the interim coach at Arizona. A lot of people think that, they might just make him the coach. But one of the reasons why Jones is no longer in the running, despite the fact that the Arizona athletic director, Dave Heek, actually used to be the athletic director at Central Michigan, and Jones and Heek, Jones was his football coach at Central Michigan. And he won big, and he went to Cincinnati from there. Did he win big, or did he win? He won enough to get the job at Cincinnati, replacing Brian Kelly, which is somewhat impressive. Anyway, Heek, it ain't his call. He isn't doing this the way that Phil Fulmer did, or even John Curry did. He's not doing this the way that Dr. Richard Sanders used to look for a coach, or even Scott Carter. No, he's hiring a search firm, which I know that, we had Dr. Randy Sanders on here once, and he just, lambasted the idea. I hate search firms. I've been around here. I know who's that. I've got contact. Search firms, they're a waste of time and money. It's just, they'll get you the wrong guy. It's the way, modern day hirings have been. But then again, what's Kevin Stallings done as the basketball coach at Pitt? Very little. He was hired by a search firm. People didn't like the hire when it was made. It was a search firm hire. But Heek is going to go down that road with the search firm for Arizona. So now it could literally be anybody. But yeah, search firms generally don't like coaches like Butch Jones, who probably 99.999% played Brett Kendrick with a concussion, whose players were injured left and right, who couldn't count to 14, who had a Drabble scandal in their past, who made comments like the 5-star hearts, which I don't even think was all that bad in hindsight when you compare it to what do we want from our media, or for that matter, when we would hear that Jalen Hurd had a lower body injury, then the same injury was classified as an upper body injury, and then his parents said, no, he has a concussion. That was lying. Search firms don't like that. AD that you knew from back in the day, okay, yeah, maybe they overlooked that stuff. Search firm doesn't. The search firm is called DHR International. Reported candidates for the Arizona job. Kevin Sumlin seems to be the guy that the people in Tucson really want. There's also some talk of Les Miles. That would be, impressive hire. But the search firms might go go with the interim Coach Yates, or they might go with a lesser-known offensive coordinator like Bo Baldwin at Cal or Neil Brown at Troy. There's the LSU tie again with Troy there and all. Matt Canada's available. Be an offensive coordinator. I'd hire him in a second. If not, and he also did interview Matt Canada late of LSU at Rice. Didn't get the job there. Rice has got a major rebuilding project. I don't know if you realize this. Just a couple of years back, they won 10 games out of Conference USA. Rice! Yeah. There we are. By the way, just speaking of Arizona and all that, Rich Rodriguez did give a farewell speech as the president. Did you know he was the president of the American Football Coaches Association? And he told people, by the way, the new head of this organization will be Bill Cronin. You wonder who Bill Cronin is? He coaches Georgetown, Kentucky, which is a pretty good NAIA athletic department, if you will. Their basketball program historically has been very good. And what with the fact that the NAIA doesn't have the same restrictions that the NCAA does on recruiting, a lot of people thought that there were years Georgetown could have competed in the NCAAs and certainly could have competed with mid-majors. But regardless, Rodriguez said, "It's been a crazy week for me." Okay, there you go. He then spoke fondly about the coaching profession and then about dealing with adversity. You're going to face adversity as a coach on the field and off. Some won't even be football related. Well, Rodriguez would know about that, wouldn't he? Could be an angry parent, a frustrated booster, something with the media. Could be false allegations against you. Interesting thing. Question is it worth it? Is it worth it as a coach to go all through those things? And Rodriguez says, you bet. He actually uses the word absolutely. So I doubt that what with these allegations, Rodriguez is going to coach for a while. I hesitate to say he won't coach again because Rodriguez has had some success. And I know a circumstance like, does anybody know Mike Haywood, who is now the coach? I believe he's a coach at a smaller college in Texas. And Texas Southern, I believe. Was that? Yeah, Texas Southern.